now rocking with the best. Who's the boxing show that's knocking out the competition? The kick-ass podcast that make you want to listen. The place where boxing fans and fighters rejoice. Thumbs up for Richie, you're listening to the fighter's voice.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Richard Ortiz, your host of The Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. Unlike our guests today, the Moloney brothers, we're simply knocking out the competition. With us, by way of Zoom, we got the baddest brothers in Australia. We got the #1 ranked contender. I mean, this guy's knocking on that championship door, man, and you cannot deny him coming off electricity of a knockout, and that's Jason Moloney, and his brother is right there, man, in the mix. One phone call away, one opportunity away from also wearing that strap, and that's Andrew Moloney. That's both brothers from Australia, if you want to say down under. Now, with us, we got a special occasion. We got with us the co-host with the most. You haven't heard it since, the one and only Mr. Young Money Prince will be co-hosting the show, The Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. And he's going to talk to us about his outing last Thursday on Celebrity Boxing. And he's looking all good. He's counting the money, and he's here to help Richard Ortiz with The Fighter's Voice. Enough said, because we're going to be talking about Bam Rodriguez in the retirement of Mikey Garcia, and also Jake Paul in the Fury. You know, I like that, Jake Paul in the Fury. That's kind of like it sounds pretty good, huh? But that fight is postponed, and we're going to talk deep down and dirty about it and find out exactly what's going on. Is it really postponed? Does that $1 million bet have something to do with it? We don't know, but we'll find out, and we're going to tune in. And then we're just going to go off topic, wherever our guests want to take us and wherever our co-host feels the most and he wants to just explode. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce our guests, the baddest brothers from Australia. That's Jason and Andrew Moloney. Welcome to The Fighter's Voice, my man.
Thanks very much, Richard. Appreciate you having us on again.
Yeah, thank you.
And let's not forget about the co-host with the most, the one and only Mr. Young Money Prince. How we doing, Money Prince?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. You got any words for our guest today?
Yes, sir. So I got some questions for y'all, and yeah, but most of the questions are for both of y'all.
Okay, I'll tell you what. We're gonna get a feel of the show, then we're gonna jump into your questions, because we're gonna make this thing mix right now. I mean, I love the challenge. Before I left to the studio today, I said, they said, Richard, who you got on the show? I got the Moloney brothers. I said, but also we have Money Prince co-hosting. And a lot of people said, oh, that 12-year-old, how are you going to make that work? And I said, we're going to make it work, because I love the challenge. All the way from Australia and all the way from Las Vegas. You got the Money team being repped by Money Prince, and then you got Top Rank's own Andrew and Jason Moloney. My first question, I gotta beat you to the punch, Money Prince, on these questions right now, because I want to ask the question that the millions and millions of people really want to know. Not who's the baddest in the ring. This is the most important. This is, Andrew, you can answer this freely, or Jason, go ahead and tap in whenever you want. Prince, and I can get your 2 cents too. I know you got more than 2 cents, because I see all those cash dollars behind you.
Yes,
Are you guys ready? This is the toughest question. Are you ready, Andrew? Are you ready, Jason?
I'm ready. Ready, man.
Out of the both of you, man, who's the better looking of the two, man? I just got to know right now.
I'd take that one. I'd take that. Jason.
Did Jason answer his own question, or is Jason answering for his brother?
Jason always reminds me that he's a better looking twin, but I really don't care. I'm married and got kids, and I'm a professional boxer, so I don't need to look good.
There you go. I had to loosen it up, man. Hey, Money Prince, man, how you feeling, man? Coming off that high, man. Coming off that, I call it a victory, because I heard the kid that you fought was like a freshman in high school, and he drove to the event, and he was a lot older than what he led on to be. But, you did really well, man. And, my people were down there. I was trying to get a hold of your dad, but never tried to get a hold of a boxing trainer's dad the day of the fight. Big mistake, because he's focused and what have you. Real quick, Money Prince, before we dive into the Moloney brothers, man, tell us about that outing last Thursday.
That fight, it was fun, though.
What was the fun? What was the funnest part, man?
Fighting. Because every time I'm in the ring, it's just like I'm alive. Like, it just feel good.
You know what? I bet the Moloney brothers, man, they can concur with exactly what you're talking about. Jason, first of all, congratulations, man. I mean, you were not supposed to win in the fashion that you won. We're talking about you fought, what was it, 2 weeks ago on the undercard of Devin Haney and gosh, man, what's my guy's name?
George Cambosis.
Yes,
Yeah.
Cambosis, who is a classy guy. I want to talk to you about him later on in the show. It was supposed to be maybe a close fight. You were fighting in your backyard, but the fashion that you won, you put the whole division on notice, man, and you cannot be denied that number one spot. Tell us about going into that fight and how you're feeling today with that number one seed.
Yeah, I was very, very happy with the outcome of that fight. I think, as you said, a lot of people thought that was going to be a close fight or a bit of a 50-50 fight on paper. Aston Palicte had fought for 2 world titles before. He had a draw with Donny Nietes, who's a very, very good fighter, and obviously had that close loss to Kazuto Ioka for the world title as well. So I was expecting a hard fight. I knew he was a dangerous opponent. He was a big puncher. I felt that he could really punch. So I had to be on my game. And I was very happy. I worked very, very hard for that. And being on that sort of platform in front of 41,000 people in my hometown, I really did want to put on a great performance. And to knock him out and to have such an impressive performance and make a bit of a statement, like you said, it was awesome. And I'm very excited for what's to come.
Before I ask Andrew a question, man, Jason, I want to ask you one more time, man. This is my opinion. I think you would have beat anybody that night because the walk-in when you came in, feeling the energy from Australia, knowing that all eyes were on you. And, even half the eyes were on you, like saying, okay, man, come on, bro. Make us look good, or you're really not supposed to win this fight, or I don't know what's going to happen once that bell rings, but you came out like an assassin and you stuck to your game plan, very aggressive, very elusive, and it was a picture-perfect fight.
Yeah, no, I got to agree. I felt so good in that fight. Even in the change rooms before I walked out, I knew I was really on, and I think it was a perfect preparation, really, because we fought out in Costa Mesa just 8 weeks before that fight. So I was really, really, really primed. I was really sharp. After that fight, we went straight back into the gym. I was already fit. I already could have fought the next day, but I just had 8 weeks to really sharpen the tools. And I went into that fight feeling $1 million. And in the change rooms, I knew that I was on. And I just wanted to go out there and put on a great performance and hope that all my hard work showed. And it did. And it was really, walking out to that crowd was a moment I'll never forget. It felt almost like a movie, walking out and looking around, 41,000 people. It was exceptional. And then to go out there and have such a great performance. It was probably one of the best moments of my life.
That energy, man, it's contagious. And I'm looking at Andrew right now. Right now, Andrew has that fight face because he wants some of this. He wants some of that get back. I mean, Andrew, when is your next fight? When can we expect the best of Andrew Moloney inside of that ring?
So I also fought on the Cambosis card. I don't know if you've seen it. I actually fought after the main event that day because of the time difference between Australia and America.
Exactly. I was going to say that because when I didn't see you perform, I was thinking, okay, I thought Andrew was supposed to fight too because both of them were supposed to fight, but it wasn't televised.
Yeah, so I think they switched back to ESPN Plus or ESPN after the main event. I'm not too sure which way it works. So they kept the telecast running here in Australia on our TV networks. It was a little bit strange fighting after the main event, but that's just the way it works with the time difference. The fights started here at like 8:30 in the morning, so they had a lot of fights to get through. It was a really big day, so they needed Cambosis Haney to fight sort of prime time back in America, so which was about 1:30 in the afternoon here in Australia. So I ended up fighting 2 fights after them, which was about sort of 2:30, 3 o'clock here in Australia, and there was still a lot of people in the crowd there, a lot of people there to support me and my brother. And I also had a great win. I stopped my opponent at the end of the second round. He didn't come back out from the corner. Funny enough, I actually shut his eye with a jab again. So that's the third opponent I've done that too.
I want to hear the other two. Wait. Andrew, I want to hear the other two. Who are the other two?
Elton Dehari, when I won the WBA interim title. And then obviously the famous Joshua Franco fight, which we all know about.
That was a classic. I want to see the fourth fight coming up. I think we can see that, and I think that deep down you want that to happen, but you want to take care of business what's in front of you. Money Prince,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the Moloney brothers are all yours, my man. I mean, what do you got to ask these guys?
All right, here's my first question. This is for both of y'all. Who's your favorite fighter of all time?
Of all time. Who are you going to go, Andrew? Oh, that's a really, really tough question to answer. I think I even change my answer to that question every time I get asked. I've got so many favourites. But Sugar Ray Leonard would be right up there. Yeah,
Alright.
I'd probably say Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah, I'm the same. I change all the time. Julio Cesar Chavez probably is the one that stands out the most to me. I just love his style and his combination punching, so I'm probably going to go with him.
Okay.
What about you, Money Prince? I'm interested to know. What about you? You got a favourite?
Yeah, probably Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson, yeah, good choice.
Yeah.
That is a good choice.
Okay, second question. What inspires you every day to go in the gym and train?
I'm just so motivated to become world champion and get as far as I possibly can in this sport. I've got big goals and big dreams. I've dedicated 18 years of my life to this sport, and at the end of the day, I want to be remembered as one of Australia's best fighters ever, and give my family the best life that I can provide for them.
Okay. Third question. What is your top 2 goals in boxing, short term or long term?
Yeah, so I'll take that. So short term, the goal is to become world champion again. I held the WBA title for a period there between 2019 to 2020, and the goal is to become world champion again as soon as possible. So that's my short-term goal, and hopefully myself and Jason can both achieve that over the next sort of 6 to 8 months. And then long-term, the ultimate goal is to become undisputed champion. And that seems to be a bit of a trend in boxing at the moment. We're starting to see that happen more often, which is great as a fan of the sport, to see the best fight the best, and there'd be one champion in each division. So that's the ultimate goal, and then to go down as one of the greatest fighters Australia's ever had, or the best fighter Australia's ever had.
Okay. So, fourth question. What's your favorite pre-fight meal?
I keep it pretty simple pre-fight. I usually have a bit of chicken with some rice.
That sounds
just
pretty
keep
good.
it very basic. I try and eat sort of food that I would normally eat in camp, because, you see some fighters, they weigh in and they think the job's done and they go and eat, pizza and pasta and ice cream and, your burgers. But the most important thing is that you're fueled to perform at your absolute best on fight night. And in the past, I think I've made the mistake of eating foods I want to eat and going in the ring feeling a bit full and a bit lethargic. And, the last thing you want to do is be moving around and getting hit to the body when you're full of pizza. So I keep it simple, and I wait till the celebrations to eat the good food.
There
This
you
question
go.
for both of y'all.
Yeah.
How old was y'all when y'all first started boxing?
Well, we're twins. We started at the same time, so we were the same age. I believe we maybe just turned 13 when we started training, and at that stage, our goal wasn't to be professional boxers. Our goal was to be professional Australian rules football players. I don't know if you've seen the sport,
Rugby.
but it's a very popular sport here in Australia. So we started boxing to get fit during the pre-season, and then we did that for around 3 years. We had our first fight when we were 16, and that's when we realised that boxing is what we wanted to do, and we stopped playing football and gave boxing 100%.
Who's the faster of the two? When you guys were playing rugby, right? Who's the faster of the two?
Yeah, it's different to rugby, Australian rules football. It's slightly different to rugby, but
I was faster.
Andrew can go faster. I don't mind.
Oh yeah. Well, who's the most elusive of the two?
I was more of the goal kicker.
Jason was more of the goal kicker, and I was more into tackling and hurting people.
Also, one's more aggressive and one's just, just full of speed. Money Prince, you know all about speed because you got that hand speed, man. And, I'm going to talk to you about Thursday real quick. What was working for you that fight? When you were in there, you had some fun. What was successful? Where were you finding success? With the jab, counter punching? What was working for you?
Probably jab.
Probably the jab?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what did your dad tell you after the fight?
He just said I did a good job, and we got to go back in there for the next fight.
Hey, that's it, man. I mean, you live and you learn, and that's how you become better. Now,
Yes, sir.
now,
Hey,
now
Money Prince, I lost my first 7 amateur fights in a row. Not one win, 7 losses. And that's when I decided that, to use that as motivation. And rather than stop boxing, I stopped playing football, as we just talked about, and gave boxing 100%. Started training every day and made sure that I trained harder than everyone else. And then the results started to change, and I went on and kept winning for years to come. But just use those losses as motivation to keep improving and getting better.
Okay. Thank you.
Actually, guys, they were. He was on a card. It was assisted by Zab Judah, Celebrity Boxing. It was last Thursday,
nice.
so
Cool.
all the celebrities were out there. The who's who of the boxing world, the rap world, the entertainment world, and just the world in general of wanting to see some competitive boxing. And he took the platform. I love the walk in. Your dad shared that video with me, Money Prince, and man, I can't wait to see your next fight, man. And this time I'm going to have to make it down there. I actually got a call that day, and I texted your dad early, and I said, hey, can you give me a call whenever you can? Because I wanted to get the details, see if I can get a credential at the last moment and what have you. But, hey, well, we're all going to make that work. And I like the support that everybody's supporting, and I like the way the Moloney brothers are just busting out with questions, man. So when you say the greatest of all time, that means we're going to pass Jeff Fennick, right?
Yeah, he's definitely in most people's eyes Australia's best ever. So yeah, there's big shoes to fill. He was obviously an incredible fighter, but you got to have big goals and big dreams.
Absolutely.
You got to shoot for the stars, and we'll give it everything we got. Obviously, we got some world titles to win before we start being talked about in that sort of sentence. But we're still young, and the best is yet to come.
Exactly. Andrew, a buddy of mine, his name is Alex Diaz, and he said he runs like he's a cook, and he runs a successful business, and he was saying, he'll call me up sometimes in the morning, try to pump me up. Well, this particular morning, Andrew, I was pumped up already, man. I was already motivated. I was getting ready to take on the world. And he said, Richard, you got to stick grinding, man. And, he's kind of giving me the basics. And in that sense, he said, sky's the limit. And I said, you know what, Alex? The sky's not high enough, man.
Yeah, that's true.
So when I told him that, I don't know where that came from. I pulled that out of where, and I started thinking about it, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna have to freaking I'll make sure that everybody hears that, so now they know. But that particular day, I was fired up already, and I said, Alex, the sky's not high enough. I go, we're gonna go all the way up there where I'm touching Jesus' hand. And I'm gonna see a sight of heaven. That's how high our goals need to be, because everybody says that they don't scare you, but you know what? Hey, you need to push yourself, and you got to believe, and you got to give it life. And I like that, Jason. That's why I asked that question, because I wanted to see that answer that you were going to give me when I mentioned Jeff Fennick. Out of respect, you said he's one of the greatest. But hey, you got big shoes to fill, and you're ready to fill those shoes. I love that attitude, man. That's a great attitude to have.
Yeah. Thank you.
Andrew, everybody I talk to from Top Rank Boxing says that out of the two brothers, that Jason's the better looking one. But they say that Andrew is the nicest one out of the two, man. I mean, I've talked to, I mean, Bob Arum says good things. I was talking to Lee Samuels, Hall of Famer Lee Samuels, Brad Goodman. He said, man, these guys are just extraordinary. One of the nicest pair of brothers that you'll ever meet. He said, Jason will probably be the one that'll hit you after the bell, but Andrew will probably be the one that'll pick you up after he knocks you on your ass. Is that a true statement right there?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm that nice. I don't know if I'll pick them up. But
okay, well, there you go.
Those guys are terrific. Everyone at Top Rank is really like a family, and we're so lucky to be involved in such a great company and around such great people. They've been amazing, and signing with them has been the best move for both of our careers. And just looking forward to the future and many great moments ahead with that team. All exceptional people.
Well, let's talk about the future. And as I start talking about that, Money Prince, feel free for me not to call your name. If you need to cut in, my man. This is your show as well today, because we're making history today, because we're gonna have the youngest co-host ever in the history of the Fighter's Voice, and that's Money Prince. You made history today, my man. Let's talk about the future. Let's talk about Bam Rodriguez. What did you think about his fight? What did you think about it beforehand? And what were your thoughts after the victory? And, your whole outlook on him.
Yeah, Bam's an exceptional fighter. That was a very, very, very good performance. I really, really, like, as a fan, I mean, he's in my division, and it could be a potential fight that happens in the future. But as a fan, I'll say he has a great style. I really like the way that he uses, his boxing skill, his footwork and everything, but he's still an offensive fighter and comes forward and breaks his opponents down. He's not the typical boxer on the back foot and, can be boring at times. He's got a great mix of, boxing skill, defense, but also that aggression. He's a very good fighter to watch. I actually tipped that he'd beat Rungvisai, but I probably didn't expect him to stop him in that fashion. An unbelievable performance. And interesting to see what he does next. I know I've seen that he's talking about moving back down to 112 pounds and sort of clearing the path for his brother, Joshua Franco. But, I mean, the super flyweight division is a stacked division, and there's so many legendary fighters there that he could potentially fight and earn a lot more money and a lot more credibility by beating those guys. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does next. But, the super flyweight division is stacked at the moment, and I'm excited to be a part of it all. And I just want to get the opportunity to fight amongst these great names. And there's so many good fights out there.
Well, that division's full of fire, and you guys, I mean, Jason, you're a couple pounds away. You guys are part of that fire. Jason, what was your assessment of the whole fight? I mean, you're sitting back, too, and you have the same wants and needs. And deep down, we're not calling anybody out, but deep down, your paths are probably most likely going to cross.
Yeah. But as Andrew said, even though he could be a future opponent, full props to him. It was an incredible performance. And I was only saying to a person in our gym yesterday who's a southpaw, this is the man you need to watch. Incredible style, great defensively, but offensively as well. He's got a big future ahead of him. A really great performance. We were actually there live when Rungvisai knocked out Chocolatito. And I thought going into that fight, this is a dangerous fight for Bam. He's only a young kid and coming up, 2 divisions to fight a big, strong puncher like this. It's a dangerous fight, but he showed how good he is by taking care of business in a really dominant way.
If you were playing matchmaker, Andrew or Jason, who would you match up Bam with next? Would you have him go down, or would you have him stay where he's having success?
I think it's tough. It's a tough job because he's on such a roll at the moment, and you want to keep that momentum going. But what makes it even more difficult is he's got his brother there who is apparently in line to fight Estrada next. So that would probably be the fight that you'd pick for Bam next, but his brother's got that. So then you'd say maybe Chocolatito, but it's a risky move. Even though Chocolatito is sort of getting towards the end of his career, it's still a risky fight to put Bam in with at such a young age, and potentially halt this great momentum he's got at the moment. So does he need to take that right away? Probably not. So maybe moving down to 112 and getting a few belts there, and then coming back up, and maybe catching Chocolatito when he's a few more years older might be the smart move. So it's a tough move if you're his promoter and his matchmaker. It's a very, very tough time at the moment to know what's best to do next. But he is an exceptional talent.
Well, congratulations to him and Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. Right after the fight, Eddie Hearn signed to a multi-fight deal. And I remember Robert was telling me, he said, Richard, nobody wanted to mess with him. Nobody wanted to sign him. Nobody wanted to give him an opportunity. And but guys, that's just the way it is. I mean, we all know that, right? I mean, the Moloney brothers, when they came, they said, no, they're football players or they're not boxers. Then all of a sudden, I mean, you know the way this business is. They love you one minute, they dislike you, they don't believe you the next, and then they're a fan the third minute, and that's just the way it goes. That's part of the sport. Guys, we embrace. I mean, you guys are in the ring. But somebody asked me, they said, Richard, what do you think about the sport of boxing? I think it's a dark, grotesque, backstabbing business, but I love it.
Yeah,
it's true.
It is true. But see, and then you got the future of boxing. You got young Money Prince. I mean, who sees himself, last time he was on the show, he talked about he sees himself as a world champion. And, I mean, guys, the guy's being trained by Floyd Mayweather Sr., 12 years old, just turned 12. It doesn't get any better than that. Money Prince, what did Floyd Sr. tell you? Have you had a discussion with him after the fight?
He'll probably just say, keep working hard, and next fight we're going to win.
There you go, because I know he likes to win. Have you had a chance to talk to Floyd himself after the fight?
Yes, sir.
What did he tell you after your bout?
He just said, keep working hard.
Hey, like father, like son, there it is there. Exactly. So we talked about Bam Rodriguez. We mentioned Joshua Franco. And there was a statement they were saying, well, when they were talking, and I know he said it out of love, but a lot of people said that he said it out of love, but he meant it. And Bam says something to the effect like, you know, you guys are mentioning me, but the truth of the matter, this is what he said. He goes, my brother Josh should kick my ass. I mean, he said it, and a lot of people going, oh, well, that's the nice thing to say. No, he meant that. Because I got some archive interviews with these guys when you know, they were there at Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy, and the love and respect that they have each other is just like the love and respect that they have you guys. Can you imagine if somehow, some way we had Bam Rodriguez taking on one of the Moloney brothers and Joshua Franco taking on the other Moloney brother? That'd be one hell of a card, and I can see that possibly happening. Why not? Why wouldn't it happen?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that the other day after that fight. That would be huge, and I think that, you know, it would grab the attention of the public too. Two
Absolutely.
brothers fighting each other. Yeah, definitely something that can happen down the line for sure.
Maybe tag team. That'd be cool.
Yeah, there you go. Around, or you guys could switch. I mean, you guys look alike. Have you guys ever tried to pull a stunt like that? I mean, really, like, hey, you go fight this guy. Because, you know, I'm not feeling too well, but, you know, you weighed in earlier. Did you guys ever think about doing that as amateurs?
That's what we need to do.
We keep fighting on the same show, so it's too hard to do that. But, no, we've never done it before. I have heard of some Australian boxing brothers. They were twins too, way back in, I don't know, the 50s, 60s, I don't even know. They told us that they used to do that when they were younger. The Nissen brothers, they were called. Henry and Leon Nissen, they were, two Australian fighters that they said they used to weigh in for each other, and one would fight for each other, and they'd swap and change. But I don't think you'd get away with it these days.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays, it'd be very difficult. Maybe you can get away with it in the amateurs. Pro levels, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, probably amateur.
Probably amateur. Hey, Andrew, Jason, Maydad Ronan told me to tell you hello. We had a question coming in all the way from Australia, Sydney, Australia. Yeah, he said he's worked with you guys briefly, got to see you guys work out. Very talented, and he does see you guys as future world champions if you guys do the things that you're supposed to do and can do with the talent that you do have. So just wanted to plug that in right there.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Money Prince, what was your day like today, man, leading up? Were you thinking about the show today?
Yeah, I was, but I just got out the gym like about an hour ago, so I've been...
How was your work?
Sometimes you could just get out the gym and straight to this.
And you got all G'd up, huh? Got all cleaned up, you know. What kind of cologne?
Sir.
What kind of cologne you got on right now?
Just some leather pants and this.
Oh, so you're all decked out. Do you mind? I want to see what you're wearing, my man.
Yes, sir.
We got to get the Moloney brothers looking fly like you with the glasses, you know, the jewelry, the chain. There you go. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Spazzing out.
Making us look bad, mate. Making us look bad.
There it is there, man. I mean, hey, what a mix. And I'm glad I'm a part of that mix right there. You know, and also, we got some news with the one and only from Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy, Mikey Garcia, mate. He calls it a day. He said, that's it, a 4-division world champion. When you got that type of bank account and you invested really well and you done all that you can do in the sport of boxing, which I still think he has more to offer, but why, and he's his own boss, why wake up and do it if your corazon's not involved? And that means your heart, if your heart's not involved in it. You know, he has some other choices, some other options that he wants to do. He's a great commentator for the sport of boxing, great businessman. And Mikey's never had anybody represent him. Mikey told me before, he goes, Richard, I know numbers. He goes, I know how to add. He goes, I negotiate all my own contracts. Mikey's his own boss. And this is our tribute to Mikey. You know, we wish you well in your retirement. Mikey's a class act, both inside the ring, outside of the ring. And he's definitely going to be missed with those boxing gloves on. And we wish him well in all that he does. Now he has more time than ever to drive all those cars that he has because, guys, he has a garage full of cars. And I'm warning you guys right now, if he ever asks you, hey, do you guys want to ride in my car? Don't do it. I didn't do it, but he did tell me. He said, no, Richard, we'll do it when you come down. Okay, there was an incident. He took a sister, and she was just screaming. That's what I heard. I don't know if you saw the video when he took Robert in there, and Robert's saying, I mean, he's telling, oh, did you guys see that?
I did see that. Yeah.
That was real, and he likes to do that, man. It's just the power, of that car. So, and also, he has the same power in that car, like the same power in his right hand. He does. Yeah. But I am kind of greedy, guys. I really am, because there was one fight that I wish would have took place. So, Mikey, if you're listening right now, and if you ever, you don't have that one? Oh, you need to have that one. And then I got to start. So I got to start my cue again. So I'll let you I'm talking to the producer right now. You can put that one up there right now, because, guys, I've been wanting to see this fight, and it just didn't happen. But I'm thinking if Mikey ever gets that itch again, I say within a year, less than a year, then I can see it taking place. But if it ever does, I'd like to see him share the ring with Regis Prograis. I never had the opportunity. That their paths were going to cross. But if he's ever going to come back, I'd like to see him step up and take on Regis, or Regis step up and take on him, because that styles make fights, and that'd be one heck of a matchup.
Yeah, it definitely would.
There was a lot of good fights out there that, still for Mikey, but, at the same time, it's good to see him make a great living from boxing, and walk away, without taking too much punishment. He's still obviously got all these wits about him, and it's better to see guys get out too early than too late. So all the best to him in, the next venture in his life. He had an amazing career, so good on him, and all the best for the future, Mikey.
Absolutely. Robert was on the show, I say about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and that slipped out. It's on the Fighter's Voice archives. I just didn't put. There it is, right there. Mikey Garcia versus Regis Prograis, right there. I got them looking at each other. That'd be one heck of a fight, man.
It would be.
That'd be one heck of a fight. When Mikey suffered a loss in his last fight, I get a text from Regis. And Regis says, man, okay, excuse my language, Money Prince. He says, man, Mikey's fucking with my money, yo. because that fight was getting ready to take place. It was getting ready to be announced. Both fighters, that they embraced it. They were willing to take that fight. But maybe we'll see it happen on a video game or something. But no, but I wish Mikey well, and I want him to go out on his own terms, man. And like I said, class act, both inside the ring and outside of the ring. He's the one. He caught me off guard one time. I'm going to tell you this quick story. I'm interviewing Mikey, and the first time I interviewed him on the podcast, actually I went down to Riverside. And it's we did it on location. And before I could even say, because I was in the show with a thumbs up for Richie. So right when I'm leading up there, he just goes, boom. He just busts out and kind of took me back, because he goes, this is what you're waiting for, huh? This is what he tells me. So now, I was just gathered in awe, and I was excited. And he just captivated me by that. And what a class act to do that, and just bust out before anything, because he knew how much it means to me, what it stands for. And That's just the type of dude that he is.
Yeah, that's awesome. What a good guy.
It really is. And, let's talk a little bit about Robert. What do you think about Robert Garcia? I mean, now that he's training Anthony Joshua. And also, Money Prince, I want to know what your take is, too. Because we got this mammoth of a man, 6'5" something, and then we have Robert Garcia, who's about maybe, I don't know, what is he, 5'6" or something? I don't want to say anything shorter because the next time I see him, he's probably going to want to pug up, and not, I got nothing but respect for Robert.
There's nothing wrong with being 5'6", is there?
No, not at all, not at all. So nothing at all. Actually, that's pretty tall.
Yeah, that's right.
It is pretty tall. That's pretty tall. How tall are you, Money Prince?
4'8".
Okay, 4'8". But when you're standing on all that money that you have, those stacks of money, then you become about 6'1", right?
Yeah.
Because the high heels of money, of stacks. That's what it is right there. I'm going to call you Money Stacks Prince.
Okay.
There you go. How does that sound, Money Prince? Your dad's going, come on, bro. You're killing me. But it's okay
AJ.
yeah, exactly. So do you think that's going to make a big difference, Robert Garcia in his corner, or will AJ revert once he gets hit to his old style, or would he stay disciplined and employ the new game plan that Robert's giving him that they're working on? What's your take on that, guys?
I think it's very interesting, choice in trainer. Obviously, I think by going to train with Robert Garcia, he's obviously planning to be a bit more aggressive in this fight, which I think is a very good idea, because watching Joshua since that knockout loss to Andy Ruiz, he's been very defensive and almost looked like he was lacking confidence in himself. So I think being a big man, a big powerful puncher that he is, against Usyk, who's a smaller guy but more skillful, he does need to come and bring that pressure, be a lot more aggressive than what he was in that last fight, and really take it up to Usyk and try and knock him out. So I think it's a good choice. I'm interested to see this rematch and see if Robert can make it that big difference and get Joshua back being that aggressive, confident, powerful dude. Exciting fight, and I'm looking forward to watching it.
How about you, Jason? What's your take on that?
Yeah, definitely agree with that. I didn't like the way Joshua was fighting, especially in that first fight with Usyk sort of trying to box the boxer. So I hope he tries to fight like the big man, get aggressive and let his hands go. So it's going to be very interesting. I think it's a good move to be with Robert. I think he can bring the best out of him. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing it. It's going to be very, very intriguing. If he can turn around and beat Usyk, well, that's an incredible performance. And, huge praise to both him and to Robert if they can get that job done.
I want to see if Robert rubs off on him. Wouldn't it be awesome? Money Prince, can you picture this? Anthony Joshua. I mean, you just see him when he walks in, there's the massive crowd. Can you imagine if Anthony Joshua walked into some Mexican music and wearing a mariachi hat? Can you feel that vibe right there? Can you just imagine that? And Robert is just saying, yeah, that's right. Come on, let's do it all. Let's do it the whole style.
Probably.
Nah, guys, I mean, Tyson Fury did that, but he gave tribute to Cinco de Mayo. I'm messing with you, man, but I know for sure that Anthony Joshua's first meal for that fight, since he's kicking back with Robert, my people that look like me, I know Joshua's going to tear up a homemade tortilla. I know at least 1, 2, or 3 of them. You like tortillas, Money Prince, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the real tortillas, not the ones at the store, the ones that are being made, by hand. Have you guys had real ones, Andrew, Jason?
Nah, probably not. I love Mexican food, but
you guys been to L.A., right? You've been to L.A. I know you stopped by a taco truck.
Yeah, we stopped at one. Someone told us about one. Was it in Vegas? And we went there, and we were so pumped to try this, real good Mexican food. And the queue would have been about 1 kilometer long. Yeah. It was that many people, which obviously shows you that it's legit. But we did go to one in Vegas, and it was pretty good. It was pretty damn good. I can't remember the name of it, but I love my Mexican food. But you would probably look at the stuff that we get over here and just say, well, "What are you doing? That's terrible."
What tell us about Australian food, because me and Money Prince, we want to know what does it look like? What does it taste like? What is it?
Well, we had a few. I mean, we eat we eat a lot of different cuisines, but we had some of the top ranked guys over here, obviously for the Kimbo Sassani show, and they said, tell us some Australian food that we have to try that we wouldn't have ever had before. And they were going to the footy, and I said, you got to get yourself a meat pie with some tomato sauce, and that's like a real Aussie meal. Everyone goes to the footy and eats pies, and they tried it, but they actually didn't like it. But that's a real Aussie thing to do. You get this meat pie, and
a meat pie.
Stack a couple of sauce on it. It's delicious. But I don't know.
Ketchup. They call it ketchup.
Ketchup, yeah. But we do a lot of barbecues and eat a lot of steaks and things like that. That's real Aussie too.
There you go, Money Prince. You got a job. When these guys are back in Vegas, Money Prince, you got to make sure you guys pick them up. Take them to go eat some good food. Where are you gonna take them, Money Prince? Where are you gonna take them to go eat at in Las Vegas?
I really don't know, but
Hey, have them come over to the house. I know your mom could cook, right? A home cooked meal.
yeah.
All right.
Guys, you know Money Prince, he lives in Vegas. So when you guys go to Vegas to go work out at Top Rank Boxing Gym, he may slide you over to the Money Mayweather gym, get some workouts over there, Iron sharpens iron, little collaboration of Top Rank and the Money team. You heard it here first on the Fighter's Voice, and then you guys can go break bread together.
That sounds good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll catch up when we're in Vegas next time. We've spent a lot of time in Vegas over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Look at Money Prince. He's laughing because when I said Top Rank and the Money team collaborating together, you're going, okay, I want to see that happen too. Can you imagine Floyd and Bob Arum just chilling, sharing a steak?
Nah.
They said, no, I can't. Oh, Money Prince goes, no, that ain't going to happen anytime soon. Not right now. It may happen. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
That's right.
But if it does become possible, it's because Money Prince made it possible. He got the invite from the Fighter's Voice. He's going to go pick up the Moloney brothers from Top Rank Boxing, and you guys are going to go break some bread and call Richard up and say, I'll take a flight down there. I got to break bread with you guys. Me, you, and Frank Estea, because Frank likes to eat.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Frank eat? I mean, because usually, when you eat a hamburger, right, you use your hands, right? Or a pizza, you use your hands. But like Frank, he rice or any like cereal even, he'll just get his hands and just kind of slurp it up in there. And he doesn't use any silverware at all.
That's great.
And I'm not dogging my dude out, but he thinks everything is a burrito. You know what I mean? He said, just put a tortilla in it. And he's talking about a cereal in the morning. I mean, bro, you can't put milk in a tortilla. It's going to come out. It's going to leak out. It's going to get, I mean, you feel me a little bit? My man Frank can throw down. He can eat, though, man. I like to eat, too. Money Prince, what do you like to eat when you're in Vegas, just chilling, not training, and just relaxing?
Some chicken.
Oh, do you? What kind?
Yes. Probably the chicken from King, so fried chicken.
Yeah, Cane's pretty good.
Cane's is good. And Chick-fil-A is good, too.
Yeah.
I like Popeyes, man. I ain't going to lie to you, man. I go there, but there's a long line, man, and they're kind of tight with their, well, I mean, it's expensive, man. I mean, I'm leaving and it's like $37.99, and all I did was get a couple pieces, man, and yeah. The best, hey, man, the best chicken is the one that you make at home, the barbecue, man. You let it marinate right there, and 4th of July, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I just had a post on my other site, Thumbs Up for Richie site, and it was a picture, actually it was just yesterday. It was of the Incredible Hulk back in the day, and he was getting ready to turn green, and I said, this is me when I don't eat chicken. I got to have chicken, man, at least 3 or 4 times a week. That's my favorite meal. You would think it would be a taco. You think it would be a taco or tortilla, right? See, you guys are laughing because you guys know. I know damn well you eat tortillas, Richard. But no, I love chicken, man.
Chicken's good.
Chicken is good. It's very good. Now, speaking of chicken, Tyson Fury and Jake Paul got $1 million bet. But it looks like, guys, this fight isn't going to take place because one was a no-show at the press conference, and that's Fury, Fury's brother. So what's your take on the whole Jake Paul? Can you pull that poster up? The whole Jake Paul fight and betting Tyson Fury $1 million. It went live and taking on Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. But Tyson Fury gets a hold of Jake Paul, and he throws like a number. I think it's like 100K or something. Jake Paul said, no, let's take a man's bait. Let's go 250. He goes, you know what? Let's make it $1 million. My attorney got a hold of yours, and I guess Tyson Fury says, yeah, I accept. But now today, Tommy Fury doesn't show up to the press conference because he's not allowed to leave into the United States. Guys, do you think this is a big ploy, or will this fight take place? Jake Paul take it on Tommy Fury, and if so, how long does the fight last?
Well, you go, Money Prince.
Yeah, I feel like it probably be a good fight, but it wouldn't last that long.
Who do you got?
Tyson.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, Fury. Okay, there you go. Fury. Okay, well, I can see that right now. So, do you think Jake Paul is who he says he is? Andrew Moloney, Jason Moloney. I mean, because we're talking about someone who took a shortcut. He didn't take the long route. He took a shortcut. He crowded in line, but yet nobody's telling me to get to the back. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, look at this guy, YouTuber, and now he's on Showtime. Now he's fighting big bouts and getting great paydays. What's your whole take on the whole his strategy of making the fights happen by being very vocal on social media, but now it's put up or shut up time?
Yeah, no, I've got to respect what he's done. I mean, when he obviously started out, he was just fighting other YouTubers and other, guys that couldn't really fight. But since then, he's obviously taken the sport serious and, has taken on a few UFC fighters and things, and now, going to take on Tommy Fury, who's a legit boxer. So he's obviously put in the work and taken this sport serious over the last couple of years, and he's definitely improved a lot from his first fight till his last. And I think this is, a test for him to take on a guy who is actually a proper boxer, has trained boxing his whole life. It's going to be interesting, and I don't know which way it's going to go, because even though Tommy Fury is a legit boxer and been training boxing for a long time, he hasn't, as a professional, hasn't really fought very good competition at all. I mean, the guys that Jake has fought are probably better than the guys Tommy's fought. So it's going to be interesting to see which way it goes. Hopefully the fight actually does go ahead this time, because this is like the second or third time the fight's been postponed or cancelled. So, and obviously there is a lot of people that can't get into America at the moment for various reasons. So hopefully this fight goes ahead, and hopefully Tommy can get over there. I know that they're saying Tyson and his father can't go, but hopefully they allow Tommy into the country and the fight goes ahead, because, I think it's an exciting fight. It could go either way, and I'm looking forward to seeing who wins the fight.
You got to remember, Jake Paul handpicked him. He selected him.
Yeah.
So that means he matched him up. He looked him up and down and says, you know what, I can take this guy. And I want to see what happens, because there's a lot of pride at stake right here. I mean, so it's going to be interesting. I want to see what's exactly going to happen. And this next question right here, I want Money Prince to just drive this one all the way, because I know you got the insight, Money Prince. I know you're hearing the rumors. I know you're hearing the conversations. Is Conor McGregor going to fight Floyd Mayweather again? And if so, is it exhibition, or is it really going to happen, Money Prince? Tell us what you know.
If they do fight again, then it's probably going to be an exhibition.
Okay, that's what you're hearing. Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's good. He's letting us know. Because I was told that fight was possibly going to be in the works. Now, Andrew, Floyd has paid his dues. He could retire and go into the sunset and just, leave, never come back. But he's still having fun, Jason. He's still doing what he loves without taking all the risk. Is it harmful for the sport, or is it helping the sport? Or is it, as Floyd says it, hey, if you don't like what I'm doing, then stop me?
To be honest,
let's be honest. Let's be honest here.
Like it, because he was such a legend of the sport, and obviously when you think of Floyd and his legacy, I don't want him to be remembered for these exhibitions or gimmick fights where he's fighting, not very good opposition. He should be remembered for the incredible fighter he was, and beating guys like Canelo, Cotto, Mosley, the list goes on and on and
Read
on.
read his resume.
Yeah.
Read his resume, Jason. I mean, because we never thought about it. I get intrigued every single time. I mean, if you read his resume, who did he not beat? You understand?
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
clear the slate completely.
Definitely, whether you love him or not, you have to put him up there as one of the best ever. And that's why I think, if he was to retire when he did and just walk away, everyone, love him or hate him, you have to respect what he done in the sport. He was definitely one of the best of all time. So for now, for him to sort of keep carrying on doing the exhibitions that he's doing, I understand that he is able to do it and he can still earn good money without the risk, this and that. But for me, I don't like to see it too much. I prefer that he walked away and just remembered for how great he was, rather than, he doesn't need the money. So I think you just walk away and let people remember him for his great career, not be remembered for what he's doing right now with the exhibitions and fighting guys that can't really fight.
Andrew, what's your take, Andrew?
Yeah, no, I've got to agree with what Jason said. Obviously, it's tempting when you can make crazy money, like $100 million, to fight someone that you're probably not even going to get hit in the fight. But as Jason said, I think he's made, close to $1 billion in his career, or $1 billion maybe.
Yeah.
He doesn't really need that money. And if he wants to protect his legacy and be remembered for one of the best of all time, or TBE, the best ever, as he says, then maybe this is harmful to that. And in the long run, he might be remembered for these fights that he's having at the end of his career, as opposed to the tremendous career he had.
Well, since you're mentioning money, let's talk about somebody who needs money. And that's Richard Ortiz here. I need some money, guys. I mean, because you got money, Prince. I'm looking at all that money in the background. You got the Moloney brothers. They're making cash. Andrew got to make more cash because he has that baby. And hey, those babies are expensive. You got to pay for the college. You got to pay for the lessons, and you got to pay for everything. And yeah, man, money. It would be real good to be Floyd Money Mayweather right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. As Andrew said, obviously it's tempting when you can make that sort of money, and he may not need it, but it's generational wealth for his kids, his grandkids, and whatnot. But your legacy and how you're remembered is priceless, and that can't that can't be bought. So I'd like to see him stop with the exhibitions, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. First of all, before we go any further, I want to acknowledge Jessica McCaskill, who's very successful in defending her woman's undisputed world title. Rick Ramos is doing a great job in training her. And guys, she doesn't get a lot of credit for what she's doing. I mean, she's reinvented herself, and you know how they say, once you win the bouts, you become 25% better. I think once she's won the bouts, she's become a whole different fighter altogether. What's your take on her career, where Rick Ramos is taking her with such a great fit, trainer in Chicago, and, they got their relationship in boxing, and they're making it happen. They're making it work.
Yeah, I actually missed her fight on the weekend. I didn't see it, but I heard she was very impressive.
Yes.
I saw someone wrote that her performance was that good that it's probably blown any chance of her fighting Katie Taylor. So maybe she looked too good. But yeah, I like what they're doing, like DAZN's trying to build her name. She's in a lot of the telecast, the broadcast team these days, and trying to build her name. So hopefully she can get a mega fight soon. Women's boxing's on fire at the moment. There's you're seeing great fights put together now. Nearly on every show there'll be a good female fight. So hopefully she can get that Katie Taylor fight, and yeah, those two can make a mega payday and a big fight for women's boxing.
Jason, you and Andrew, you guys got a great manager. Her manager trainer is Rick Ramos. He's doing a great job plugging her in. The commentating, calling Eddie Hearn and saying, let's put a fight card in this area. Let's make this happen. And he's doing a great job, and that often gets overlooked, but it's not getting overlooked this way. I acknowledge it, and I see it, especially the hard work of a trainer, manager, playing multiple roles, just as Money Prince, your father plays multiple roles: dad, trainer, advisor / manager, etc., etc. When you have a great team together, it's almost inedible that no matter what happens, it's going to be successful.
Yeah.
And all you guys got to do is, do the work in place. So listen.
Yeah, that's right. Extremely important. So yeah, Ricky's doing a great job. So well done to him, and I'm sure it's all going to pay off, and she'll get that big fight. He's getting her name out, and I'd like to see the Katie Taylor fight. That'd be great.
I think it'd be good for boxing.
Definitely.
Now, one fight before we move on and talk about Canelo and Triple G, that'll be at the end of the show. We're going to go over a little bit, but that's okay. I think one fight that'll be good for boxing. Of course, we know Spence and Crawford, right? Well, I was picking Spence to win the fight. I think that Spence is going to win the fight, but I'm pulling for Crawford now. Reason being is because the moves that he wants to, the plans that he has set in place are good for boxing. He said, once I beat Spence, I want to fight both Charlo brothers. That's good for boxing. For even to want to do that, Charlo to want to move up and take on, that's a great matchup at 154. I don't hear anybody else calling him up and saying, I want to move up and take him on. And he's not, he has a massive test in front of him, and yet he's talking about another massive test. He hasn't even finished, and he wants to take on Godzilla, but he still got to take on Magellan. I mean, great big steps, big moves, and like you said on the top of the show, Jason, you got to think big.
And imagine if he does do that, and then he's a 3-division undisputed champion. That would just be unbelievable. Obviously the first person ever that would do that, and probably the last. That's an amazing achievement to become undisputed champion in one weight division, let alone 3. So let's hope he can do it.
I think he can do it. I mean, it's tough, but I think he can do it. This is my take. I think Bud Crawford can beat Spence at 147, but I think Spence could beat Crawford at 154. That's just my take because he's naturally the bigger guy. But that momentum coming in off a victory at 147, I want to see him take on the Charlo, one of the Charlo brothers, twin, and see what happens. Money Prince, I know you got some more questions for these guys, man. Go ahead and shoot away. We stopped you at question number 4. Shoot away.
2 more questions. So here's one of them. If y'all had any advice to give to me, what would it be?
Just to get dedicated to the sport. Keep working hard every single day. It's a relentless grind, boxing. And as Andrew touched on earlier, you have your ups and your downs. You know, he lost his first 7 fights. I lost my first 3 fights. And, you know, we've had a lot of ups and downs throughout this career. But one thing we've always done is just stayed in the gym and kept working and kept believing in ourselves and working hard and knowing that the best is yet to come and that we can achieve great things. Don't let the downs disappoint you or stop you from achieving what you want to achieve. Just keep working hard, keep believing, and I'm sure that you will achieve great things in this sport.
Okay. Here's my last question. If you had any fans around the world, what would you say to them?
Yeah. Just thank you for supporting us. You know, we get support now from a lot of people in America, the UK, and back here in Australia. Even other places I fought in Chile, I still get a lot of support from people over there. And we're just really grateful for anyone that's supporting us on our journey and following us. And, you know, it's the people that support us that allow us to keep doing this. And we're blessed that we're able to wake up every morning and do something we love for a living. You know, we don't have to go and work a 9 to 5 that we hate and, you know, wake up every day wishing you're doing something else. We get to do something we love. So we're very, very lucky. And thank you to everyone who supports us and makes that possible.
Exactly. You know, Andrew, you said you lost your first 7 fights, right? Well, I lost my first 7 girlfriends. I did, because they all just bounced from me, man. I mean, I mean, I couldn't hold on to him. I remember when, I'm going to tell you a quick story, honestly, and she knows who she is if she's watching too. Shame on her. She asked me, she goes, hey, Richard, can you walk me home? And I said, no, I got soccer practice. I want to start. Because, you know, my friends go to the game. I'm not sitting on the sidelines. I need to be I need to be cutting that grass. Just boom. Long story short, I didn't walk her home. Somebody else did. And it is what it is, man. I mean, but you know what? I wouldn't change it because, hey, practice is practice. We're talking about practice. I had to be there, man, because I wanted to start the soccer. And that's a true story. She knows who she is.
Yeah.
She's got to be more understandable. You got to, you can't miss training.
Nah.
So, yeah, that's her loss, not yours, mate.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
You need a supportive partner. She didn't deserve you.
Nah, she didn't.
I actually had my wedding booked in. This is going back a few years now. I had my wedding booked in, and then we had our date. We put deposits down and had the celebrant booked and the photographer booked, and then I got the call to enter into the World Boxing Super Series, and we got the contract. And this is your fight date. This is when you need to make yourself available, and it clashed with my wedding. So we cancelled my wedding. This is 4 years ago now, and I still aren't married 5 years later. But my partner understands that boxing comes first, and sometimes you need to make those sacrifices. So she needed to understand that practice is important, and she can walk herself home. She's a big girl.
No, she actually is a big girl now, but that's okay. I got nothing against big women. You know, a lot of them to love. But I'll leave it at that, because if I say anything more, I'll probably get in trouble, man. I really will. I will. Seriously, I will. And there's a lot I want to say too. Serious. But anyways. But see, guys, you know who doesn't have to worry about that problem? We're talking about, I mean, look at his skin tone, man. I mean, you got a skin tone like Al B. Shore. I mean, a banana skin tone, looking good, looking handsome, remove the shades. The man's going to be breaking hearts, breaking faces in many places. Look at Young Money Prince. He's not going to have one. He's going to have a couple of them.
12.
You're 12?
Yes.
Nice.
He's 12 going on 20. Guys, he's 12 going on 22.
Oh, be great to be 12 again.
Yes, he's
You got a girlfriend now?
Young lad.
How many girlfriends you got?
None.
Playing the field. I like it.
There you go. There you go. Well, he don't know it, but you know, to them, they probably say they're his girlfriends. You know, they catch a glimpse of him and say, "Man, look at him. He has everything, man. He's smelling good. He's looking good. He got that whip. He got that voice. I mean, come on. I mean, hey guys, that's why he's here co-hosting the show.
Yeah,
That's right.
Got to get the ratings up, man, on a handsome young gentleman like that. Look at him.
Oh.
Shoot, he already knows what time it is. He knows exactly what time it is. Well, you know what he's going to do, because we got the big fight, the Triple G taking on Canelo, and that's going to be September 17th. And there's going to be a lot of Mexicans, a lot of beautiful women, a lot of my people there supporting Canelo, right? But a Money Prince walks by, at the same time Canelo walks by, they're all going to be chasing Money Prince and just leave Canelo all to the side. I can see that happening, Money Prince. You have that it factor, my man, right?
Yeah.
And plus, you got a good right hand. Now, I better leave him alone before his dad says, Richard, okay, that was enough. But, no, Money Prince is doing great. So we're going to start off with you. Money Prince, the third time they're going to fight, it's Canelo and Triple G. Who do you have in this fight, and will it go the distance?
Probably Canelo.
Did something happen in the air? Probably Canelo? By what? Decision, knockout, or anything?
Probably by decision.
Oh, decision.
But they're both great fighters,
Yeah.
but I feel like it'd be by decision.
Jason, who do you have in that fight?
Yeah, I've got Canelo. I'm a massive fan of both fighters. We're actually lucky enough to be at the last fight, Canelo Triple G number 2. I'm a big fan, but I think at this stage of both their careers, Canelo will win. It's funny how before the Bivol fight, everyone's saying that fight shouldn't happen. You know, Canelo's too good, he will destroy him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has one loss against the great fighter like Bivol, who's, you know, the bigger man. And everyone's just writing Canelo off now, thinking that he's past it, or that Triple G's going to beat him now. So I think that's just crazy. Canelo's still pound for pound one of the best fighters on the planet, and I think he wins. I think it is probably a decision though. Triple G's got one of the best chins in boxing, and I think it'll take something very special to stop Triple G.
Maybe a baseball bat.
Yeah, yeah. You know, potentially maybe a body shot could do the job. I don't see him getting knocked out, but I'll go Canelo on points. In a close-ish fight, but the most clear-cut decision of the trilogy.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and say this right here. I'm not going to say. I'll tell you who I'm rooting for. Who do you think I'm rooting for, Andrew?
Canelo.
Why? Because we both like tortillas? That's why. That's exactly right. No, guys, I honestly, I'm pulling for Triple G.
Yeah.
I hope I'm pulling for Triple G, and if Triple G wins, I see him winning by knockout. A lot of people called. They didn't give Evander Holyfield an opportunity against Mike Tyson. I'm going for Triple G. Do I think his best years has passed him by? Honestly, I think yes. He's always been flat-footed. Canelo's more elusive. He really wants to get him out of there, but he may want it too much, and he may get caught doing something. I could see Canelo stopping Triple G, maybe TKO, but I'm pulling for Triple G. I hope he pulls a rabbit out of his hat and just drops that right hand because, honestly, I thought he won that first fight, and I thought even the second fight was very, very close. And a lot of people thought that Triple G, they kind of wrote him off too. Jason, when a lot of people wrote off Canelo for taking on the bigger man, they also wrote off Eddie Reynoso. He went from trainer of the year, one of the best trainers, and now he's losing, and now he lost this fighter, that fighter. But that says a lot for Canelo because you want all his attention, but his attention is to what got him there, and that's Canelo. So just like Freddie Roach, I mean, a lot of people wanted more attention, but at the time he had Manny Pacquiao. So I know it's early to tell. But I'm pulling for Triple G this fight. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a massive fan of both. So if Triple G
I am
won the
too.
fight, I'd be very happy. But just hope it's a great fight. Looking forward to that one.
I say Triple G because they were in different weight classes. Besides Tommy the Hitman Hearns, my great best fighter of all time. Thomas Hearns, I know. Ask me anything about him. I know. I mean, even when he came on talk shows and stuff or whatever, I've always watched him and mimic him as best as I can. I used to mimic him when I used to, mess around. I dropped the to hand, low, to bait him in for the right hand. But yeah, Thomas Hitman Hearns, he was very special. But I like Triple G. I mean, he's one of my favorite fighters besides Andrew Moloney, Jason Moloney, Bam Rodriguez, Joshua Franco, Jose Ramirez, Mikey Garcia. I mean, I'm just going to name them all, right? Everybody that's been on the show, Money Prince, right? Yeah, even Isidro Cho from Fresno, California, and he beat, my gosh, who did he beat in the amateurs? Oh, gosh. Who's the guy who should be in the pound for pound? I mean, he should be in the top 10 pound for pound right now. He just came off. He beat Oscar Valdez. Shakur Stevenson. Well, anyways, there's a guy in Fresno, California, Isidro Ochoa. He beat Shakur in the amateurs. So, and even Shakur remembered, too, because I said, hey, Andrew, not Andrew, Isidro told me to tell you hello. He goes, is that your son? I go, no, he's not my son. He goes, yeah, he beat me in the amateurs. So these guys remember, and, out of respect or what have you. I don't even know how
Shakur in table tennis.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, I'm glad okay, Andrew, you took my cue. Because when I was talking about Mikey Garcia and Regis Pro Gray, I just want to see them. Let them play checkers against each other, something. Because I want to see these guys, and be competitive too. That'd be one hell of a checker game. They'd play checkers like it was chess, huh? They'd actually need a referee because they'd be, like instead of hitting after the bell, they'll move after the, they'll just keep going and won't stop because these guys are so competitive.
Yeah. We might end up seeing the fight after the check.
We may just see it. And you know what Mikey said? Okay, check this out. I said, Mikey, when a person, you ever get in a street fight? He goes, I had my share. I don't really like talking about it. I said, when does it become a street fight? I mean, because these guys always, when they push you or something. He said, Richard, the minute they start talking, the fight already started. So boom. I mean, that was his whole thing. He said, Richard, the minute, and that stuck with me. That's a cold handle, Money Prince. You're just there in the streets? And then he said, Richard, the minute they start talking, the fight already started. And I never really thought about that. I guess it did, and he was just going to end it. Who wins in pool, Andrew or Jason?
In pool?
Yes, in pool.
Jason knows we've got a doubles match going on with me and our manager Tony are a tag team, and Jason and our trainer Angelo are a team, and they owe us like $3.8 million on the pool table. They can't beat us. They cannot beat us. Me and Tony, hands down, the best team of all time.
Okay, so whoever wins, me and Money Prince will take on the winner.
Yeah.
There we go. And we'll do it in Vegas, huh, Money Prince?
Yeah,
So
in Vegas.
So we better start
I got
practicing.
one in the back room.
Oh, do you? Oh, you're a little shark then, huh? Money Prince the shark. You got your own cue sticks and everything. Man, it must be nice being Money Prince. Got to be the money, huh?
Yeah.
Very nice. I mean, look at you, man. Because if I go to your house, I'm going to have to borrow your glasses or something.
Pay his debt. Jason's had this debt over his head for a couple of years now. You might be able to pay
You can help me out, Money Prince.
Oh, there you go. There you go. How good of a pool player is Tony?
The funny thing is, if you watched him, you'd think he was terrible, but we always win. He just somehow, it can't be a fluke because it happens every time, but he might not be going for the ball that he gets in, but he'll get him in, don't worry. He's the best.
It just goes around the world and kind of just hits all
He
the
just
sockets.
walks up, does a line up, bang. But if he has the simple one that's right in the pocket, that's not going in.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Money Prince, I brought you on today because next week I'm going to have Teofimo Lopez's dad. And that probably wouldn't be a good mix because it'd be like watching a Scarface movie.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? So I was thinking to myself, so that's why I kind of had to shuffle some things around. I spoke to your dad, and I said, okay, we'll get him on this week because I knew I had lined up. I mean, can you imagine Teofimo Lopez's dad? I mean, because I've had him on the show before, and I can't even do the censor fast enough. I just said, heck with it, man. Do what you want. Because it was just, I mean, you saw the movie Scarface, right? I mean, every other word is an F-bomb, but that's okay because he keeps it real. That's who he is. That what you see is what you get. So next week we do got Teofimo Lopez Sr. And this Thursday we got Curran Batia. We had a picture of him interviewing Canelo and Triple G. So this Thursday, Curran Batia. I know I'm saying his name right. Former producer for HBO, director. I mean producer, engineer. He has his own podcast. He's out there grinding in New York. Very, very talented. I put him with the likes of Bernardo Osuna, with the Mark Kriegel, and Curran Batia. He's one of the good ones, man. And he's gonna be on the show this Thursday. It's gonna be me and him going tit for tat. See, last time he came on the show, I was dressed, just kind of regular. I mean, he was all suited and booted. So I got something for him. Money Prince, this Thursday, Money Prince. I may have to fly down to your house tomorrow, go through your dad's closet, and get some fly stuff, man. Because when Curran Batia comes on, I'm gonna have to look legit. Because he made me look bad last time. I mean, he was all ready to go, and I was like, oh man, how much time before we go on the air? In 2 minutes, there was no way I can put on a tie and everything before then. But Curran Batia, I got something for your ass Thursday, buddy. We're gonna talk boxing, then we're gonna talk some fashion. I'm going to make that happen. And see, what you guys don't know is I'll be wearing the suit on top, but I'll be wearing shorts because, the camera doesn't get the bottom. You know what I mean? Yeah. We'll keep it real. I'm very good camera down there. You'll see my Huarachis, my slippers and stuff sometimes. But, unless you're Money Prince, you got the $1,000 slippers, the Versace slippers, because, I mean, it's good. It's good sometimes. You got to look good. Like Conor McGregor, man. Can you imagine what his bill is when he goes shopping all the time? And even Floyd Mayweather. They don't even look at the prices. They don't. I mean, it's just, it must just be nice. And actually, it's custom. All this stuff is custom. They don't buy off the rack. They got certain designers and whatever they want. And, who does you guys' trunks, guys?
Bravia.
Bavia?
Bravia, the Puerto Rican company.
Okay.
The best.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay. I'm not pulling you away from them, but if you ever want to go somewhere else, look up Junior from I Got My Own Back. I don't know if you heard of him.
Yeah, I have seen
Yeah,
some
I've
of his
seen
stuff. Yeah, really nice.
Yeah. You know what? He calls himself the future. He proclaimed himself and said, I am the future. I'm the best designer in the world. So, once
believe
again,
in
Jason,
yourself.
those are strong words. And,
Yeah,
and,
that's
and
it.
when he said that from day one, I actually got one of his first shirts he's ever made. And, the stuff was ironed on. It says, I got my own back. I got that, and I got the first hat. And he said, Richard, hold on to it because it's going to be worth something. He goes, I won't ever make that stuff again because this is what I'm going to make. And he's a man of his word. He made the shorts for Canelo, for some for Manny Pacquiao. He's made them for Ivan Drago on the Krieg movie. And,
Oh, yeah.
man, the guy's blowing up.
Yeah, wow. Good on him. Good on him.
He needs to make Money Prince a whole gear setup, man, because who does your trunks, Money Prince?
Dukes.
Dukes?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sure you're happy with them because I saw you were looking pretty fly. Who was that guy coming in the ring with you? He had that green suit on?
Oh,
He
yeah,
was looking
Bishop?
fly too. Oh, Bishop. Yeah, that's the name, Bishop?
Yes.
No, he was looking G'd up too. Guys, if you got time after the show, man, go to YouTube Celebrity Boxing and check out Young Money Prince, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
will.
You
I'll
got
watch
to.
that for sure.
And Money Prince, when you have time, man, and I know you already did today, watch these guys train and watch these guys compete. And watch the Joshua Franco fight with Andrew Moloney. Watch the first one, watch the second one, and watch the third one. And,
Yeah, I watched the first one. They're pretty strong.
yeah, no, exactly. No, both these dudes are badasses. They are.
Yeah.
They got to get shirts that have like a kangaroo getting his ass kicked. And it says Australia's badasses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about because these guys are a class act, man. And I think you guys have the opportunity to change history because, Jason, you want to be remembered as one of the best fighters in Australia. You have that opportunity. This is your time. This is your window. God gave you this opportunity. Andrew, you have the same opportunity.
Yeah, thanks,
Absolutely.
mate. We're working hard every day to make that happen. So, very excited for what's to come. Hopefully, we'll both be world champions very soon, and then start aiming for that undisputed.
Exactly. Before I let you go, guys, it's Wednesday in Australia right now, right? And what time is it?
Yeah, that's right. About lunchtime now. Yeah, nearly 1 o'clock.
And on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wow. See what you did, Money Prince? See the balance? Money Prince, we have guests from all over the world.
Yeah.
Worldwide. We're global, guys.
You ever been down under, Richie?
No, man, but I want to go. I need to
Yeah, you
go.
gotta.
I need to go. I've been invited down there from Maydad invited me a couple times, and
Yeah.
I want to see the world. I really do.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll head up to one of your guys' fights and stuff, or I don't want to make a promise I can't, but I need to go. That'd be nice to go. Hell, shoot,
Yeah.
have Tony fly me down there. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll go do an exclusive
We'll get
interview.
onto him. We'll
Yeah.
get onto him.
Yeah, there you go.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
you'd
or
love
Money
that.
Prince can fly us down there. How's that, Money Prince? Call
Yeah.
Floyd and just say,
Alright.
hey, Uncle Floyd,
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
take me and Richie down here.
Okay.
Listen,
No,
guys,
we heard it.
hey, I agree.
There's all sorts of comments on YouTube.
Oh.
I just barely saw them.
Oh, there's all comments on YouTube?
Someone on here that says I'm in Japan. Someone from Texas likes Maloney's.
Someone from Texas likes the Maloneys, and someone from Japan likes the Maloneys. This is from YouTube. So what are they saying?
Thank you.
There's other people that want to know who trains Money Prince. There's all sorts of
Who trains one? Okay, wait. Who's that question for Money Prince? Where's that comment coming from?
let me see. Jesus M.
Jesus M is asking Money Prince, who trains you, Money Prince?
Oh yeah. Floyd Mayweather Sr.
Jesus M, Floyd Mayweather Sr. Who's the one from Japan? Who else got a question for these guys?
It's a TTV Ravnin. It says I'm in Japan.
Oh, they just want to give a
That's all
shout
I
out?
said, yeah.
So a TTT Rabidin says, I'm in Japan and I'm watching the Fighter's Voice. So that's good.
Oh, and then they also
That's
said,
awesome.
I give you all the best for all your wins. You got it, money.
Oh, for Money Prince? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, he got some fanfare. And the Moloney brothers
Yeah, they wrote something that's like in
in Texas?
something I can't even read.
Oh, in Arabic. Oh, okay. What kind of writing? Are you able to read it?
I don't know what that is. It's like symbols.
Symbols. Okay, well, as long as they're nice symbols. As long as it's not the middle finger. We don't want the middle finger symbols, right? We just, symbols.
Nah.
Symbols are good.
Sabrina?
Well,
Yeah.
Sabrina loves Money Prince?
Sabrina Williams Nelson says, thank you, Richard, for making history tonight. Money Prince, family in Dallas, Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys. Truly enjoyed your show tonight.
Oh, wow. It says, thank you, Richard, for making history tonight with Young Money Prince, all the way from Texas. What's her name, Sabrina?
Yeah, so Sabrina Williams Nelson.
Sabrina Williams Nelson.
And she also says the Moloney boys are so amazing and handsome.
Did you hear that, guys? She said, the Moloney boys are so amazing and handsome.
Thank you.
Damn, they're just giving props to everybody, huh?
I mean, it just keeps
It just keeps. See, when you have Money Prince on the show, what happens?
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. It got to be the money, guys.
surprised. It's just like, whoa.
Well, I mean, I could stay there all day and read them. I'm just saying I'll read them later and we'll comment later. So if you guys go to YouTube, you guys can answer them personally and give back.
Okay.
So you know what? I appreciate you taking the time to come on here. I know, gentlemen, it was a little different show. I love the challenge. I love to try to collaborate and mix things around, because we're not your regular show where you just sit down there. And we talked about maybe boxing, 25% of it. We talked about life. We had some fun, and it's okay to have fun. It's okay to breathe fresh air in life.
That's right, mate. No, it's been a pleasure to be on with both of you guys. Yeah, we appreciate it. And Money Prince will be keeping an eye on your career, mate, and all the best.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, man, I'm Rich Ortiz, your host of The Fighter's Voice. I want to thank Andrew Moloney, Jason Moloney, two brothers, class act, both inside and outside of the ring. And I want to thank Young Money Prince for helping me co-host tonight. And I'm going to have to pull him back next week. I'm going to talk to Dad to see if we can get him on at least once a month to help me co-host The Fighter's Voice. And, hey, man, The Fighter's Voice, the people's choice. The only voice that matters, because I'm just like the Moloney brothers and Money Prince. What? We're simply knocking out the competition. And as always, I'm your host, Richard, live here in Fresno, California. It's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie. Thank you,
Thanks
gentlemen.
for having us on, Richie.
My pleasure.